My name is Dr. Carrie Elk. I'm a psychotherapist, and I have been focused, my career and all of my work has been focused on researching a new treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder that works efficiently and eliminates triggers, not just treats symptoms. 3 years ago, I had cancer, kidney cancer, that was found by accident. And the interesting thing about that is I took care of my father who had cancer and who had died in my arms in my home of cancer the year before. The year anniversary, the very day, a year later, that my dad died of cancer, I got a call, and they told me that I too had cancer, a different cancer. When I was well enough after my surgery, I had kidney cancer, and they removed part of my kidney, and I was fine. After that, it's been 3 years. But when I was well enough to walk and go back to work, I prayed and I said, okay, I'm here for a certain reason because I shouldn't really be here. It was found by accident. So God, whatever you have for me to do, I'll do it. This is your time. This is not my time. And that day, I spoke with Military One Source, and I ended up being a clinical supervisor at Military One Source. And they deal with all of a lot of mental health issues with service members and their families. About 8 months later, it became impossible for me to stay working there. I'm a single mom, and it was taking me away from my family. And I thought, well, God, why would you lead me to something that contradicts something else? And I know God doesn't contradict himself. So I ended up quitting because I thought, what do I do? My priority is my child. So when I sat at the manager's meeting and said, okay, well, I have to put in my 2 weeks. I have an announcement to make. They said, well, who are we losing you to? Where are you going? I said, I don't know that yet. But I know that this is not where I need to be, and I need to do something else, and I need to follow the priorities and take care of the things that I have. So 2 months after that, I got a call from the University of South Florida, and they said, Dr. Elk, we just got a DOD grant to study a new treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder in military members, but we don't have anybody here that's qualified that has military mental health experience. That's when I knew why I had been led to Military One Source. I was going to need that later. And so I did the studies with USF, and the results are good. And during one of my presentations, where I brought in a veteran and his mother who'd been treated in our study, who now was no longer on medications, and it had a life again, Mr. Sullivan, Chris Sullivan of Outback, was in the audience. And he met with me afterwards, and he said, let's talk a little bit more about this. What you're doing is a game changer. This isn't treating PTSD and managing symptoms. This is a game changer. This is correcting traumatic memories so that they're not a problem anymore. What do you need? What's next? And we started working together and making a plan to do a large national study so we could reach more people. And with his help, we talked with USF, and we decided that we need to do this quickly with the suicide rate in veterans that we see, the divorce rate, the drug abuse, and even those that aren't going through those, they are having trouble sleeping and just living a whole life. And I feel like I've said this in South Beach when I was presenting with the mayor down there. They were trying to bring PTSD awareness, and I said, here's the thing. As Americans, we always say, our freedom and our protection, and we claim all of the benefits and all of the things that come out of someone's service, of our military members' service. We claim them as ours. That's all ours. Well, the PTSD is also ours. The sleepless nights are also ours. So we have to claim the whole thing. And so Chris and I have come together and decided to form a 501(c) nonprofit so that we can expedite the research. In order for the military and the VA to use this therapy, which resolves PTSD in just 1 to 5 sessions, is what we've been seeing, they need to have evidence-based. They need scientific research. And so that's what we're doing right now. And our 501(c) is called MATTERS, which of course is an acronym, keeping with the military way. Yes. It's Military Associated Trauma Treatment, Education, Research Services. And we're going to be doing a study to reach 300 veterans and service members around the country and treat them with the ART, collecting the data so that we can feed it back to the military mental health professionals, and they can start using it too if the results come out the way, of course, we think they will. We have to wait for the data. We are right now working with US SOCOM and helping us to identify the best places. We're looking at about 7 different locations, and they're helping us identify where the greatest need is and where would be a good place to set up these satellite sites where there are people that are receptive to hosting us. And I will tell you that here, where we are right now in Las Vegas, on Nellis Air Force Base, we did a satellite. In one of the first original studies, I chose one place to do a satellite study just to see how that would work out. And Commander Rojas here of the NOSC hosted us, and we did a satellite study here to see how it worked, and it worked out really well. So we're going to have 7 such places, and not positive, but I would anticipate at least San Diego and Virginia. We're negotiating those things right now, trying to plan that out. Working with also VATSI, which is another veteran-owned company.